We trained 4,400 IPOB men after KANU's promises, says three dismissed soldiers. Operatives of the Force Intelligence Response Team have arrested three dismissed soldiers who allegedly took part in the training of 4,400 members of the ESN. The suspects have been identified as Linus Owalo and Godswill Stephen, as well as Chinasa Orji. They were arrested recently after operatives of the IRT, while following a tip-off from some members of IPOB, raided the group's hideout in Imo, Anambra, and Delta states, as well as the FCT. According to police intelligence gathering, ESN is the armed wing of the proscribed IPOB, and IPOB and ESN have been accused by the police of being responsible for the recent attacks and killings of security operatives, as well as burning of police stations, INEC, and government infrastructures across the southeast and south regions of the country. However, IPOB and ESN had repeatedly denied the allegations. One of the soldiers, Owalo, who enlisted into the Nigerian Army in the year 2013 and attached to 102 Guard Brigade Battalion, but dismissed in 2019 for unknown reasons, according to police sources, is alleged to have, after his sack, engaged in the training of IPOB militias on combat operations such as ambush and use of firearms. Other alleged trainers of IPOB militia are Orji and Stephen, who enlisted into the Nigerian Army in 2015 and 17, respectively, and were trained at the 133 Special Force Battalion. After they were dismissed, they were said to join forces with IPOB, playing active roles in the training department. Police sources said the three men were promised double of their salaries in the army. They joined IPOB military camp in Abia State, where they trained more than 4,400 IPOB volunteered fighters before moving to Asaba Delta State, where they trained another 400 militias. According to the men, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu promised to move them overseas for military training after the state of Biafra has been achieved. Each of them would become a military general in the Republic. Owalo, 32, married with 2 children, explained that he enlisted into the army in 2013 and was later posted to the Guards Brigade Headquarters FCT Abuja. He recounted that in the year 2019, I was absent from duty and the army authorities arrested me. I was charged and subsequently dismissed. Since then, I have been seeking for reinstatement and life had not been easy for my family and I. There was this man I approached for a job and he connected me to one Mr. Williams, who said he could help me get a job. Williams told me about Biafra and their dream to achieve a sovereign state. He invited me to their meeting and when I attended, I was welcomed warmly. I was given half a bag of gari and 5 tubers of yam. All right, bribery. They also paid a visit to my wife and children. I then told them that I was making plans to get my reinstatement into the Nigerian army, and they told me that I should forget about it, that their supreme leader Nnamdi Kanu would make life better for me if I trained the IPOB militias known as ESN. He further disclosed that he was given the sum of 100,000 naira and then moved to a forest in Abia State, where he joined other dismissed soldiers and met them at the forest to train 4,400 men. This, according to him, took place in October 2020. The second suspect, Stephen, 33, said that he joined the Nigerian army in June 2017 and then undergone a series of trainings at various locations before he was deployed to 133 Battalion, where he sustained injury. When the pain became too much, I left to treat myself, and when I returned, I was arrested and locked up in a cell where I met Chinasa Orji. We became friends, and while in the cell, he told me that one of his friends called him from Senegal and informed him that KANU was recruiting trained soldiers to train IPOB militias, revealed Stephen. According to him, Orji told him of the promise of the good life promotion to a general rank and trip abroad by KANU. He was persuaded by these, and also the payment of 100,000 naira made him sign up. We then traveled to Abia State, where we took oaths to be loyal to KANU. We were also taken to the camp where we gave volunteered militias training on combat and special forces maneuvering. After spending 1 month in Abia State camp, we were transferred to another camp where I spent 3 weeks training the men I met there, he said. I left the camp after it became clear that the promises they made to take us abroad for training was not realistic. I came down to Abuja where I got a security job, but I was eventually arrested, he added. Orji is 23 years old and a father. He enlisted into the army in 2015 and was dismissed in 2018 after attending the burial of his elder brother, a soldier who was killed on the 22nd of August 2018. According to Audrey, it was while in detention I had access to my phone and I started chatting with one of my friends, Victor, who told me that KANU needed my service to train IPOB militias. He told me that KANU was ready to pay me twice the money I was earning in the army. I told my friend Stephen, who was also in detention, about it, and he accepted. All right. So, I mean, this is do go into great detail, but again, I guess because realistically, Biafra is not achieved yet, and of course, you can ask where would Nnamdi Kanu get training, because that would be costly if they decided to travel everyone abroad or bring someone that's a non-Nigerian who has a military experience to come and train the militias. Because at the end of the day, you can say, okay, fine, this may seem unfair, but then if they're not in the army anymore, then how they can decide wherever they want to go to, change or use their skill. They use their skill set. And that's just it. That is really just it. But again, I think it's just cost effective for, Kanu to have done that. That's it, really. It was literally cost effective. And to be honest, if that's it, that's it. I mean, to be honest, one can also argue, okay, fine, if this seems very shady, why is it that, Boko Haram repentant Boko Haram people are reinstated and taken back into the army or even put back into society? Because there have been arguments and rumors that, the army itself is compromised. So again, it's just like, so what is the Nigerian army? Like, is there any sort of, control on who comes there and who leaves and whatever? There isn't. That's just what it is. Someone says, with all the evidence against Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist, what was the delay in using Interpol to remove him? It's not even that. Again, the fact is, they weren't working for IPOB at the same time as they were in the army. So again, there's really nothing here to prove that Nnamdi Kanu is a cheeky or shady person. They had retired, and it's their decision to decide what they're going to do after, not retired, but like they're going to decide what they're going to do after they leave the army. So it wasn't poaching, military. I mean, how can he even do that? Again, if you've already left and you were dismissed, then of course, whatever you do after is none of anyone's or the government's business, except there's a contract saying that, if you've been dismissed from the army, you can't join another army or you can't do anything army related. That's it, man. Put what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.